What's going on YouTube? West Hobbies RC. Today we're going to get a flight in on the Trex 550 DFC. This is an older model, but extremely nice helicopter. Flying it on the DX9. We have an AR 7200 Beast X flybarless unit, aligned servos, Castle ESC, aligned motor, aligned main blades and tail blades. Got the orange Canomod canopy and tail fin. Well, let's go ahead and spool up and get a flight in. We have soft spool up. Flying on the HRV 6S 6000. The helicopter is dialed in. We're gonna soon go into a Icon flybarless unit in a Hobby Wing 120 ESC. We're running governor mode. It's a little windy today. But this thing is just great. Pick it up in the idle up 1. Go ahead, kick it up into idle up 2. This is 2600 RPM head speed. Flying on this side because of the sun. I usually like to fly out over other side of the field, but this will work. Back up in a normal mode. We have a 4-minute timer set, but we could definitely fly longer than 4 minutes.
20 seconds.
I've flown in normal mode upwards of 8 minutes, just flying around. Idle up 1, I usually fly about 6 minutes.
8, 7,
Low head speed cruising for just soft, mild 3D.
3, 2, 1. Time expired.
This is actually my buddy Ed's favorite helicopter.
Hold mode. Stunt
We lost the tail.
Hold mode.
I don't know what just happened. We lost complete tail authority. Oh. Dang it. It doesn't look too bad. It sounded like we stripped the tail gear. Alright, definitely took out the main blades. The links popped off the head. Yep, we stripped out the tail gears. Dang it. Well, luckily, damage is very minute, just a set of blades.
Okay, so we're back inside now. We've got the helicopter on the table. In the last part of the video you just watched, I said that I stripped the tail gears. Now, come to find out, that is not true. So, we'll go ahead and show you the damage report. We bent that turnbuckle down there, which very hard to see, but it is bent. And then the ends had a crack in them, so I replaced those two already from the arms down to the swash plate. Everything else is fine, servos. We bent a skid pipe, not a big deal. We also bent the battery tray a little bit, but I straightened that out. Frames, everything is perfect. So, came inside after the crash, trying to figure out what happened. So, of course, pulled the tail boom off, and the shaft is bent, has a wobble to it. Not a big deal, have another one of those. Tail boom does have a slight bend in it. Not a big deal, have another one of those. So we pull the tail boom off. At first I thought, strip the torque tube gears, I lost all tail authority. What I figured happened, but it did not. So as you can see, there's the end of the torque tube. Now, if you look at this, it looks like it was cut off. I mean, it's just a really perfect cut. To me, it looks cut off. So after I seen that, and I seen this here, which looks like it was cut off too, and it has a little tear in it, and then there's metal shavings all over the inside of the torque tube, all inside the boom. There's metal shavings all inside of the case, or the tail boom block. There's metal shavings. So I started thinking about it. I said, it looks like it was cut. I mean, it is just perfect two halves. This is what I pulled out. So then I take a flashlight and I start looking inside the boom block. And this is what I find. I find a head shim, which is what this looks like. And it is bent perfectly, and it has rub marks on it. And the head shim was laying inside the casing all the way forward, flat, sticking like this. I bought this helicopter used. Now, I did go through the helicopter, checked the head, Loctite everything, made sure the head was built properly. I never pulled the boom block out, nor did I look inside the boom block. So, I put the tail boom on, put everything, tightened it down. There's a little screw right here. That went in the hole to lock the boom down. Everything was fine. So what I think, well, it's the only explanation, is that washer cut the tail boom, or the torque tube, I'm sorry. Because there's metal shavings everywhere. Metal shavings on the bearing here. Let me move this out of the way. There's metal shavings everywhere. So, what it looks like to me, and the only explanation, is that this little head shim was stuck inside the boom block. How it got there, I have no idea. I don't know if it, when it was being shipped, if it somehow fell in the box or in the boom block. I don't know. But we cut the torque tube in half. Not a big deal. Like I said, sucks. But we have new blades on the way. They'll be here tomorrow. We're going to upgrade the turnbuckles and ends to the 550X, 700X, 760X. As you can see, I got my 760 back here. It's going to be the same push rod and ends as these. We have to go from 2.5 millimeter balls on the swash plate and servos to 3 millimeter, as well as we had to go to 3 millimeter balls on the swash plate to the arms up to the head, or the blade grips. So we're going to upgrade those because they look a little too thin and cheaply to me. I've already cracked 2 of the ends in flight and replaced them, so we're going to take care of that. Canopy-wise, held up pretty good. Canopy does have some cracks in it, as you can see right here, and if the camera will pick it up, we have a couple spider cracks going down the side here. But all in all, canopy held up really well. My OCD is killing me, and I would like to replace it, but I haven't got a hold of Camo Mod, which is who makes this canopy. So once I can get a definite back from them, they still produce them. They're still on the website. So if they are, I'll go ahead and get another one on order. Keep this one, of course, little touch-up paint back there. But we'll get the 550 back up and flying by the end of this week. All servos, all electronics made it. Didn't strip the main gear out or anything. Thank you guys for watching.